So Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion attended the Vanity Fair After Party for the Oscars. And Doja actually performed at the Oscars. There was a James Bond set. There was a tribute to James Bond. And Doja sang Diamonds Are Forever. And that performance felt like it went on forever. I mean, she was fine, but man, there was a few notes she was straining. It's like, oh my God. But she was fine. The funny thing is the singer that came after her was Ray, the British singer Ray. I love Ray. Go watch Ray on SNL. I think it was this season or last season. She was great. She won a ton of Brit Awards last year, and she won a few more this year. Ray is a fantastic singer. And I feel like Ray actually should be the next Bond singer because her voice was fantastic. So Ray was great. Doja was like, is she all right? But she looked good. Doja always looked good. So Doja and Megan went to the Vanity Fair party. Vanity Fair party, next to the Met Gala, is probably the biggest entertainment party in Hollywood. So if you can get into that, that's huge, right? So you see Doja. Doja is dressed in a beautiful sequin gold dress. You see the curvature of her breasts. You see the tattoo. She looks great. Beautiful dress. And then we have Megan. Listen, the olive green color is beautiful. The idea of using the plants are beautiful. It reminds me of Poison Ivy. If you're a fan of Batman, you know who Poison Ivy is. If you don't, Google her. And she has she has a piece of fabric going from the flowers up to her neck, and her breast is out, and she has a piece of green material covering her nipple. Look, man, and this is not Doja versus Megan. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just looking clearly at Megan. Listen, Megan's 30 years old. We've been seeing Megan. Her debut single was like 2016. I think it was Like a Stallion was her debut single. She's not 21 years old at this point, man. And at this point, I want Megan 2.0. We get it. You got a great body. Megan's always had a great body, right? Still has a great body. You know, we know you can twerk. We know you can twerk. We know you can do all this stuff. But the thing that I want from Megan is 2.0. First, I want a great album. That would be nice. But most importantly, I want Megan 2.0. Like, we know Megan Thee Stallion. I want the next phase of Megan. Like, I want to see evolution of Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I know there are no more Queen Latifahs. Like, Queen Latifah performed at the Oscars. I think she was part of the Quincy Jones tribute. And I know there are no Queen Latifahs today. There are no Dana Owens today. The beautiful thing about Queen Latifah, a lot of those ladies back then, is the evolution. And I just don't see much evolution. Doja's different. Like, Doja was a quirky girl before she became a star. So her music path, even though it looks quirky to some people, she's always been that way. Even before, when she was an independent artist, so she's totally different. I just want Megan to just give us a different version of who she is. The thing about the Vanity Fair party is that it's not just actors and actresses after the Oscars. There are film studio heads, TV execs, movie execs, streaming executives. It's a big time deal. And I think projects are made sometimes at these parties, depending on who you sit next to at the table. If Megan had a more elegant looking dress, she could have been sitting next to one executive, and he could have been driving home with his wife. She's like, you know, honey, you know who I was talking to, who was fabulous? Ooh, Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? I thought she was a little ghetto, but she's nice. You know what? I think next time we have a new movie or a reality show on Netflix, I'm going to think about her. Jimmy, write Megan Thee Stallion's name down. She might be a star. And that's if she wore an elegant dress. Or he might be leaving the Vanity Fair party, and his wife, and Megan was wearing an elegant dress, might say, honey, you know who wore a great dress? Who? Megan Thee Stallion. I love that dress. Oh, really? You like her? I say, oh, yeah, she's great. That dude in the back of his mind who might not have been thinking about Megan might think of her now because his wife and or daughter or granddaughter liked her outfit. These things happen. That's how Will Smith got Independence Day. I think Steven Spielberg produced that. And his wife, Kate, like Will, maybe from the Fresh Prince or something like that. And then that's how Will kind of found his way to Independence Day. These things happen. But then you get the opposite. So Megan's wearing this dress, and you can't expect people to respect her wearing that dress. So I know younger girls, younger ladies will say, like, come on, no, man, you're too old. No, if they don't like our dress, that's on them. Yeah, that is on them. And they'll make decisions. You have no power. They have all the power in the world. listen, I always go back to Eve in these discussions. For me, one of the greatest female MCs ever is Lauryn Hill. And before she cut her hair off, that miseducation era of Lauryn Hill, her fashion sense was amazing. I loved El Boogie, like around 98, 99. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then she cut her dreads off and everything went off the rails. But before then, she was great. But the artist that came was right next to her was Eve. And if you know Eve's story, before she became a Rough Rider and became the EVE, Pitbull in the Skirt, she was a stripper for a short time, right? But even though we knew that story, you never got stripper from her because she always dressed kind of cool. By the time we get to that second album, I think the Scorpion album, she became a full-on fashionista. She still is great with fashion now. You know, she got a lot more money now. But, man, that 2000, 2001, 2002, 2004 Eve, man, her fashion sense was impeccable. And I just wish some of these young ladies would dress like her. Now, again, if there's a sexy red or Glorilla wearing Megan's outfit, I would accept it because they don't know better. They don't. In fact, they will be talking, Glow, you wear one dress and your right breast is out, and I wear the other dress and my left breast was out. Girl, that would be so hot. I would accept that from them because they don't know better. Megan's been around for a while. She's been to parties like these. And I think she might have gone to the Elton John party. I think she wore a yellow dress, so that dress was actually better than this one. But still, like, Megan has access to any designer she wants. There's no need for this. I think the thing that women don't quite understand is that dudes are turned on by anything. You don't have to be half naked. Toni Braxton, when she first came out, she became more risque later. But when she first came out, the first thing when you watch a Never Sad Love song, that video, watch that video in the beginning, it's her eyes, man. She got the sexiest eyes where you feel like, I think I got a shot with Toni Braxton. Her eyes were so sexy. Janet Jackson was always completely clothed, except for maybe for the Janet cover, for the Janet album, her breast was covered by her then husband, Renee Elizondo, right? That's it. Watch that If video, pants, top, super sexy. Watch that Anytime, Any Place video. She was wearing a dress from head to toe. Super sexy. Super sexy. We have no sense what her body's like. And Janet Jackson got a wonderful body. Great body. You saw Thee Stallion. Janet was Thee Stallion before there was Thee Stallion. Fantastic, man. So we don't have to see everything. I just want these ladies to win. So I get tired when I hear these women say, oh my God, men don't talk about us like queens. They objectified us. They don't take us seriously. When you're doing stuff like this, how can we? I wish there was an older lady, even a cleaning lady, that was in Megan's hotel room right before she went to the Oscar party. And she looking at her like, no disrespect, girl, but you gonna wear that? I've seen these parties. They don't dress like that. You got to give them Dorothy Dandridge. You got to give them Diana Ross. You got to give them Halle Berry. Speaking of which, you know what she could have done? She could have wore the Oscar. When Halle Berry won the Oscar, Megan could have wore the same dress that Halle won back in the day as homage to Halle Berry. And people said, wow, she made an homage to Halle Berry. It's so classy and sleek. Or she could have gone back in the days to like a Diana Ross, like, or Dorothy Dandridge, somebody like that. Or even like Angela Bassett. Like, you could go back Angela Bassett like 15 years, 20 years and find a dress that Angela Bassett wore to the Oscars or something like that. Like the dress she wore to something that was kind of like what she wore to, What's Love Got to Do with It for the Oscars. And it's like, oh my God, she's just like Angela Bassett. That's elegant and sleek. I love that. I want Megan Thee Stallion to start trends of elegance. Is that so hard for me to ask? Say, nah, you old. Elegance is dead. I guess so. I'm so tired of the stripper era. I'm so over it, man. Listen, man, I'm not going to lie and pretend that I didn't like Little Kim when she went to the MTV Awards when she had her breast out. But that was the MTV Awards, man. That's not the Oscars. I doubt that Little Kim would have wore that outfit to the Oscars or a Vanity Fair party. She would have never done it. MTV, sure. During that time span at the MTV Awards, that was hot. It was hip. You'll be on People magazine. But it's different now, man. This is the Oscars. Megan, I'm saying this for peace and love. Girl, get it together. And all the rest of y'all, Sexy Red, Glorilla. We don't have to see y'all talking nasty and wearing all this stuff. Hell, dress like Doja. Or Cardi B. Cardi B is always elegant with her Spanish self.